She was once the richest woman in Asia, the silent face of China's real estate miracle. Her name was Yang Huiyan, elegant, obedient, worth $38 billion. Her company, Country Garden, built the cities that defined China's rise and stood beside its only rival, Evergrande, in a race to build the future faster than anyone thought possible. Then, one night, that future collapsed. Evergrande's tycoon was dragged out in handcuffs. Country Garden defaulted on billions, and Yang Huiyan simply disappeared. No arrest, no farewell, just silence. This is the story of the woman who inherited China's dream and what it cost her to survive when that dream died. Before the collapse, before the silence, there was only pride. Yang Huiyan was born in a dusty corner of Guangdong, a village so poor her father built their first house with his bare hands. He was a mason with a dream, that one day he'd build not just homes, but a kingdom. He did, and he built it for her. By her 20s, she was already a billionaire. Not because she fought her way to the top, but because her father handed her the crown. But behind that perfect inheritance was a secret Beijing never liked to admit. The richest woman in China wasn't a self-made icon. She was a front. $27 billion in shares. Thousands of projects. Hundreds of thousands of employees who would never meet the girl who technically owned them all. They called her Miss Yang. Polite, untouchable, a princess in a hard hat. To the public, she was the symbol of China's new generation, educated in America, fluent in English, perfectly modern, yet perfectly obedient. To the party, she was safe, a loyal daughter, not a threat. And to her father, she was insurance, the family name disguised as progress. She smiled for cameras, spoke softly about a better life for every family, and avoided every question that mattered. She was a mirror of China itself, young, ambitious, and terrified of losing control. But behind the perfect photos and investor handshakes, the cracks were already forming. She knew it. Her father knew it. Because no empire built that fast can stay standing forever. And when the first cracks appear in a glass kingdom, the one wearing the crown always hears them first. It was the empire everyone envied. Country Garden was everywhere, from Beijing to the smallest towns you'd never heard of. Thousands of projects, millions of buyers, billions in debt hidden behind glass and light. To investors, it was a miracle of modern China. To the government, it was proof that capitalism could serve socialism. Profit disguised as patriotism. And at the center of it all stood a woman barely in her 30s, elegant, composed, and silent. Yang Huiyan became China's favorite myth, the obedient heiress who never challenged the men around her. While Evergrande's Xu Jiayin flaunted his yachts and golden fountains, she built quietly, politely, and for a while, it worked. Country Garden outsold Evergrande. More homes, more cities, more lives mortgaged to the dream she inherited. But the foundation was the same. Endless borrowing, endless faith. The difference was style. Evergrande was arrogance. Country Garden was grace. One bragged in headlines, the other whispered in boardrooms. And when the whispers reached Beijing, that too much power, even quiet power, was dangerous. The illusion began to fracture. Buyers stopped paying. Projects stalled. The polite silence that had protected her now became a cage. She watched her father's empire grow too large to save, too fragile to admit it was failing. Every gleaming tower was a monument to denial, a kingdom of glass reflecting only what people wanted to see. And somewhere inside that reflection, Yang Huiyan began to vanish. One photo, one interview, one appearance at a time. Because when China's dream starts cracking, the first thing to break is the face that sold it. If stories like this pull you in, the secrets of power, money, and the people who vanish behind them, hit subscribe. There's a new Silk Street story every week, and each one goes deeper than the headlines. It didn't collapse overnight. It began with whispers, a few missed payments, a few half-finished towers no one wanted to talk about. Then, one morning, the headlines changed. The miracle was in trouble. When Evergrande collapsed, panic spread through China's cities like smoke. Apartment buyers stopped paying mortgages. Construction halted, and the question no one dared ask slipped into every meeting. What if Country Garden is next? Yang Huiyan watched from her office as the numbers bled red. For years, she had inherited confidence. Now, she inherited debt. To keep the illusion alive, her own subsidiaries began lending the company billions. Internal loans, secret transfers, moving money from one dying limb to another. She wasn't stealing. She was trying to keep people in their homes. But every loan she moved to save the company only made the fall harder when it came. The same money that built China's dream was now burying her alive. The market no longer believed in miracles, and belief was the only thing holding her empire together. Across the border, Xu Jiayin's fall was televised. Handcuffs, confessions, the public spectacle of greed. But Yang Huiyan's punishment would be quieter. She had built trust by being invisible. Now that invisibility became her prison. Beijing wanted stability. Local officials wanted someone to blame. And between them stood the heiress, a polite face for a catastrophe no one could admit was man-made. Each day, she signed papers to save thousands of unfinished apartments. Each night, she read messages from families begging for their homes. And she understood what her father never did. You can't borrow faith. Country Garden still claimed to be healthy. But inside, everyone knew the truth. The foundation was cracking, the air was running out, and the woman who once embodied China's dream was now trapped inside its collapse. It happened faster than anyone believed possible. In 2021, Yang Huiyan was worth $38 billion, the richest woman in Asia. By 2023, most of it was gone. The stock crashed, bonds defaulted. Country Garden, once China's pride, had become its greatest embarrassment. Executives resigned quietly. Her father stopped showing his face. And every day, the empire that once crowned her as China's miracle turned into a symbol of its collapse. Her life, once measured in billions, was now measured in survival. Investors fled. Banks stopped answering calls. Even her old allies in government went silent. She had seen what happens to those who refuse to disappear. In China, silence isn't cowardice, it's survival. She began to fade, her speeches canceled, her portraits quietly removed from boardrooms. Her fortune was gone. Her confidence too. And soon, the woman herself would follow. Then, one day, she simply stopped appearing. At a company gala she'd never missed, her seat sat empty. Her name removed from reports. Her quotes vanished from the company website. The woman who once sold China's dream was being quietly erased from it. No arrest, no statement, just absence, deliberate and heavy. Inside China's boardrooms, absence speaks louder than denial. When someone powerful vanishes from view, everyone understands the message. Step back, stay quiet, survive. Yang Huiyan understood. She withdrew from cameras, transferred assets to family foundations, signed only what others drafted. Each act of compliance was a small insurance policy against becoming the next public sacrifice. She wasn't imprisoned, but she wasn't free. She existed only as a name on paper, a ghost haunting her own empire. To the world, she was gone. To the party, she was silent. And to herself, she had become the one thing no billionaire ever plans to be: invisible. If you're tired of watching stories like this repeat, fortunes built on hype, then erased overnight, check the description for a discount link to Seeking Alpha, where you can learn how to invest sustainably, with data instead of dreams. Today, her empire exists mostly on paper. Country Garden still builds, but slower, smaller, quieter. Her name lingers on contracts, yet the woman herself has become a rumor. A whisper passed between investors who know better than to speak too loudly. Some say she hides in Foshan, others in Hong Kong, others nowhere at all. Once she was proof that a woman could inherit a kingdom in a man's world. Now she's a warning that even obedience can't save you when the dream collapses. She never gave a final interview, never told her version of the story. Maybe she doesn't need to, because her silence says what every billionaire in China now understands. In a country built on control, even wealth must learn to disappear. Across China, her towers still rise, taller, emptier, quieter. They stand like glass ghosts of a vanished dream. Each one a reminder that in modern China, faith built faster than foundations. And when belief shatters, even the richest fall without a sound. But Yang Huiyan wasn't the last to vanish. Months later, another woman disappeared, not from the ground, but from the sky. A private jet, a baby, a foreign minister, and then nothing. Her name was Fu Xiaotian. If Yang Huiyan's silence revealed how China buries its billionaires, Fu Xiaotian's story shows how it erases their lovers. Both women lived in privilege. Both flew too close to power. And both remind us that in modern China, visibility is the most dangerous luxury of all. Her story is live right now on our channel. Go watch The Mistress Who Toppled China's Foreign Minister. You'll see how one love affair nearly brought down Beijing's walls. And if you want to keep uncovering the hidden empires of Asia, subscribe to Silk Street right now. Every week, we expose another story of power, desire, and betrayal that the world isn't supposed to see. I'm John, and this is Silk Street, where power hides its secrets and every empire leaves a trail of ghosts.